December 10th, 2024 meeting of the Kingston Planning Board. It is 6:54 p.m. First thing we'd like to do is introduce the people here at the table. To my left and your right is Peter Coffin, a member. I'm Lynn Merrill. I am the chair. Robin Carter is our land use administrator. Ellie Alessio is our selectman rep. Robin Duguay is our vice chair, and Glenn Greenwood is our town planner. Tonight is a night for public hearing for the zoning warrant articles. We also have a little bit of board business to take care of tonight. So we're going to start with the public hearing. The board will call the public hearing to the table, and we'll discuss it briefly. We'll ask the public if they'd like to make any comments. If they would, they need to come to the table. They need to take one of these from over in the corner, turn it on so the green light is on, set it back on the table, give us your name and your address, and then you may address the issue. That being said, the first public hearing tonight is the board will be voting on the following proposed zoning amendments to place on the warrant ballot for the town election in March 2025. These are the Town of Kingston zoning ordinance proposals. The first one defines the grade plane building height, and the second one changes the height standards. So to explain to anyone who is watching from home, we have now a building height, but we also needed a definition of what the height was going to be measured from, and that is the grade plane. And the grade plane modifies or adds the grade plane building height requirements to the following articles for consistency and to stay within the town requirements for safety purposes. So, the new language for grade plane, which will be added to each of the different articles listed herein, Article 102, 103, 104, 105, 105.3, 106, 107, 108, 108.13.a, 109, 110, 208, and 208.4.b.1.c. So this will be added to a number of our ordinances.
Definitions, just in the definition section.
Right, the first one, yeah, the definition section. So, the first one is grade plane, a reference plane representing the average of finished ground level adjoining the building and exterior walls. Where the finished ground level slopes away from the exterior walls, the reference plane shall be established by the lowest points within the area between the building and the lot line, or where the lot line is more than 6 feet from the building, between the building and a 0.6 and 6 feet from the building. And so, do we want to go through the whole thing or do it piecemeal, Glenn?
Oh, I think you should vote on that grade plane one first.
Okay.
But take public comment.
Are you going to put that together though in one article?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're saying do it all the way.
Okay.
Fine, Robin, be consistent, we'll check.
Which is exactly how the motion
It is how it is written at the bottom. Because we spoke about that just on Thursday.
Okay, the proposed language will be added to each zoning section that includes building height standards. Proposed building height language for the articles will be as follows. The maximum building height for occupied space shall be 40 feet. This measurement shall be from the grade plane to the height of the highest roof surface. Any structure which exceeds the building height shall require a variance from the Zoning Board of Adjustment. In addition, any other applicable requirements, including building codes and life safety codes, may apply. Shall apply, I'm sorry. Shall apply. And we're also adding it to a chart that's in the industrial zone. So, I know we've discussed, oh, excuse me. It's Rob. Hi there. Rob? Okay, so we have discussed this at our last several meetings, I think the last 3, and we've come to consensus on grade plane. We've also come to consensus on the height of 40 feet, which is approved by the fire department, as well as our building inspector and code enforcement officer. So, does anyone here have anything else to say? I don't know, he texted.
No, I just said, barring any board comments, we should take public comment on this to open it, and there's somebody.
And perhaps mention, Lynn,
Rob will be here in 16 minutes.
Perhaps mention, Lynn, that this complies with the state's
Oh, yes.
building code.
Yeah, the other reason we used the grade plane was to comply with state building code. Okay.
Madeline Millette, 189 Main Street. I just wanted to point out for the Historic District, there's an A and a B to add to for the, so 102.5A for Historic District 1 and B for Historic District 2.
Okay.
So, because that wasn't in there, so I just wanted to clarify that. That was it.
So do you have the full numbers? It's 102.5A 5, and we know what is it B5 or is it? I can bring it open, but if you have it there.
So I don't have what you wrote down for the first one, but I just knew, I think it's gonna be B. It might, I mean, this might be the first thing under B. So A has a bunch of things under there, but B does not.
you're right, he does not.
B1.
It would be
B1.
It would become B1.
Anyone else?
Yeah, there's nothing there in B at all.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we have to have another public hearing on this?
It means that we will have to, when
On
we
that
do the
portion.
citizens petition, we'll have to do this change as well, just the one.
Just the one change.
Historic district.
Sorry about that.
No,
Thank you for finding it before.
we want to have it done
Yeah.
properly, so thank you
So
for.
wouldn't have to do it again, yeah.
Exactly.
If you're already having a hearing.
It's 102
And it will become one.
dot.
One oh two,
Five.
five,
Dot B, dot one.
dot one, correct.
Alrighty. Any other comment from the public? Seeing no further comment from the public, we will close that portion of our hearing. And is the board ready for the question?
I'm prepared to make a motion.
Would you do, please?
Yeah, I would. Thank you to Robin for telling me exactly. Okay, so make a motion to accept the proposed language in,
And then
I'm confused.
we can accept the 102.5
We can
point
accept
A,
everything here.
and
And
then,
then make a motion to move the B1 to the next public hearing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that'll be it.
So make a motion to move, to add the definition of grade plane to Article Preamble 2 definitions and the proposed language to amend the articles pertaining to building height and grade plane to the 2025 warrant ballot, and move to add the proposed language similar to what's before everything else to B1. Got a little rocky at the end there, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Can I ask a question?
Who seconded that? I did. Thank you.
Does the historic district have to be moved to the public hearing on January 7th?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because we just said to warrant.
No. We're moving everything to warrant except for that one piece which goes to.
Yes, it's,
She did.
but we are moving 102.5.A.5 to the warrant. The only thing we're doing is.
The only thing we're not moving is the B1.
Is the
Right.
102.5B.1, and that's.
I thought she did say that, but
She said it in here.
So everything that's on here to vote for tonight, we approved and it's going to warrant.
Okay, so we're voting on the other one separately afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just vote on the other one separately and make it easier. Okay, Robin, do you have a motion on removing to move to public hearing.
I did.
I know you did it with
Oh,
the
make
other
a
one, but we
second.
need to do them separately.
Yes.
So that's still the addition of B1 is what we're doing? All right, so make a motion to add language about grade plane to the historic district section 102.5B with the addition of 1.
I think we're going to modify, it's not the grade plane, that's going definitions, that will be
The
there.
building height, I'm
The
sorry.
the building height, yeah.
On January 7th,
Do we have a second?
2025.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Takes care of the first 2/3 of the page. The second article we're voting on tonight is Article 407, the noise ordinance. And it's section 407.2, sound pressure level limits amend to add the historic district 1 and 2. So we're adding the names Historic District 1 and Historic District 2. Historic District 1, we're adding to the same standards as the rural residential district, and Historic District 2, we're adding to the same standards as of single-family and single-family or residential agricultural. Is there any public comment on this portion? We've opened public comment, we'll close public comment. Is the board ready? Oh, for the motion, Robin?
Sure. Make a motion to move Article 407 noise ordinance, section 407.2 to add historic district 1 and historic district 2 to the sound pressure level limits table to the 2025 warrant ballot.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay. Our previous discussion on that paid off. Okay, moving to board business. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes of the November 19th, 2024 meeting?
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Accepted unanimously. Okay, we do have a citizens petition article. Before we do that, since Mr. Parks is with us, shall we skip to correspondence? And so that we don't keep him here?
Push that button.
So we have a letter from Dan Parks, who lives at 7 Small Parks Road, where he has a sandpit operation. And his letter reads, I would like to apply for a 5-year extension on my sandpit operation at 7 Small Parks Road. I would like to be at the next meeting in December, which he is. Thank you, Dan Parks. Hi, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So we had big aspirations in the beginning and thought maybe we would dig it all out in 5 years, but we've dug about a third of it out so far. And I feel like another 5 years we might finish it. So, you know, we get to the end of the road here and then we're gonna bulldoze all the grades and everything, and then we can put in that fire hydrant for the fire department, the dry hydrant. And hopefully be done in 5 years, open.
Okay, any board discussion? Glenn?
I have no problem with the request.
Okay.
It's been a slower than anticipated project, but they've done everything that we've asked them to do when issues have arisen.
Okay.
Dennis does do periodic visits, and things are going well.
So Dan, have you already applied for one extension to that?
No,
Okay.
We reassigned the bond to split it between
Right.
two owners, and that didn't have an expiration date on it, right? The bond stays open until,
The bond stays open until.
yeah, okay, so that doesn't have to be.
Right.
And so who's the other party that you split the bond with?
Lewis Builders.
Okay, so, so they're not gonna try to close out their half of the bond for finishing, right? So,
Bond stays the way it is.
yeah,
Yeah. No, they're moving along, but I mean, I think they're only about third of the way too on their project.
So Glenn, the letter of approval was what date?
The only one that I could find, well, that Robin could find, I haven't looked, was November 2023, but we did an amendment to your original site plan approval through an amended site plan.
Right.
And I just have to find that agreement.
Okay, so
I didn't look at all, I found out about this.
So the motion to approve should be 5 years from,
The date of the existing approval, which
Exactly.
I do believe is sometime in 2025,
okay,
early 2025.
we just need to find out when.
I will certify that, yeah.
Okay,
And maybe you hold off, don't do any motion until we actually have those dates.
okay,
So we can presumably do it on January 7th as well.
okay.
Yeah.
So we'll hold off until we have the actual date, when we find the date?
I'm sorry?
We'll hold off until we have the date of the expiration of the first agreement,
Okay,
and then we'll go 5 years from that date. And as soon as we have that date, we'll do a vote, because we don't want to vote tonight without having the end date in place.
I understand.
Okay,
That's great.
okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Should I push the button again? I don't know what this thing is, the recording device. You guys used to have microphones.
Well, that's what that is, that's a fancy microphone tied up to
Oh,
the system.
awesome. All right, thanks, guys. I'll wait to hear from you then. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, too.
I thought she said, oh.
I'm ready to rock. Let's go, guys.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So before we get to that, we'll do the last thing, which is on the proposed language for the driveway permit regulation. So the proposed language is, prior to construction, reconstruction, or paving of any driveway in the town of Kingston, a town of Kingston driveway permit. Application shall be submitted through the online application permitting portal for review and processing by the planning board designee. An application fee as set by the select board shall be paid once the permit has been reviewed and approved and prior to any work being done. And then we also added to that, driveway shall enter a class 5 or better public road. Do we have any public comment? See, we'll open for public comment. Since there's no public, we will close public comment. It's not a hearing? Oh. Okay,
We can vote on this and
so,
make the changes.
do we have a motion?
I'll move to amend Article 901, driveway permit regulations, section 901.1A and 901.1C7 as presented, and move to the planning board public hearing on January 7th, 2025.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm opposed. All right, and moving along. We have a citizen's petition. As you all know, we had a public hearing last month with a subdivision of an 11.7 acre parcel into 3 lots. All 3 lots are currently zoned commercial 3, and they'd like to zone the 2 that are in the residential area rural residential. So they have come forward with a citizen's petition, which reads to change the zoning designation of a portion of the 11.7 acre Comac Pump and Well property located at 13 New Boston Road and identified as tax map R19 lot 15. The request is to change the 6.89 acres of the southerly portion of the parcel from the commercial zone to the rural residential zone. This rezoning will be more in keeping with the surrounding properties currently zoned rural residential. The remaining 4.81 acres supporting the Comac Pump and Well business will remain in the commercial 3 zone. See area described on attached plan showing future residential lots A and B.
Does that, by the way, mean that we have to attach the plan to the ballot? Or it's a special? Posted, okay, thank you.
Exactly. I'm the voting place.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Yeah, a lot of discussion on this last month.
Right, and
Yeah, and I, again, if the select folks have not seen this, we should just set a hearing date for
Yep.
citizens petitions for January 7th.
Okay,
And be assured that we receive whatever decision the select board makes long enough in advance so that we can post it 10 days before that meeting.
The select board is meeting tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock to review its budget before it goes to the budget.
It would be great if you guys could just resolve this.
You could get that to Susan. She works on it.
I will let her know.
Okay,
Tag
just-
it to her.
She should have, we would also meet Monday, so we have two.
And that, both of those are plenty of time.
And then, or just do it Monday though, because we may just want to get out of there tomorrow.
Yeah, but that is, Monday is plenty of time.
Because we probably will not be meeting on the 23rd, we don't, we'll have a quorum, not enough of us, but, so we hope to wind up things next Monday.
Okay.
Before Christmas break.
Sure.
all right, so seeing that, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move the proposed petition citizen warrant article pertaining to map 19, lot 15, to the planning board public hearing on January 7th, 2025.
Didn't we want to make it
Did
generic?
you want to make it generic?
Yeah, if, it would be better if you just say that you are making a motion to hold citizen petition public hearing on January 7th.
So moved.
I let you read that whole thing, knowing that someone was going to say, that's not what we want.
Okay, so we have a
I
motion.
knew as I was reading it that that's not what we had just talked about.
I'm losing control of this meeting.
We get to it eventually.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Is there any other further business to come before the meeting?
I don't, do you want me to share my news?
Yes, please.
I may have recruited somebody for the planning board, and I feel
Wow,
pretty
that's
excited
beautiful.
about this and surprised. So he is just verifying with his employer that there's not a conflict, but has tentatively said it's fine to move forward. So he wasn't able to make tonight's meeting, but we'll make the next one.
So,
I thought you were about to quit.
so when you come,
Because you said I have news. I don't like to hear people say they have news.
Oh, and good news? Is
That was good news.
That was good news.
That was good.
That's how I prefaced it.
How you tell us when you promote.
so, I asked Robin to please have him send us an email or a letter or something expressing his interest, so we'd have it in writing, which is important to have before they vote. If he comes to the next meeting, you'd have a choice to vote him as an alternate or as a planning board member, because we have two open alternate positions and one open planning position right now.
So, yeah, make sure you understand that it sends a letter in.
Ask for one or the other.
And that should be directed to you, correct?
Yeah, address it to me and it'll come to them. Yeah. Okay. Is that
Is
Rob?
this Rob?
It's Rob. And so Robin asked me if I wanted to go back to the driveway permit regulation and explain why I oppose it.
We're all done with it. That's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, so if they wanted to know why I oppose it because there's no other alternate method for someone who is unable to do the application online. That's why.
Although we did have a discussion at the time, they did say you could go to the assessor's office and they would put it online for you, so they would be filing in person.
They have to sit down with them, which gets a lot of time and effort on for the assessor,
We get
and right now we don't have
permit.
anybody really in that office doing anything, so that's my feeling. I'll stand by
I get what you're saying, and I
think there should
understand.
be an alternate
Paper,
alternative for people
alternate.
that cannot, for some reason, do it online.
Yeah, I thought my understanding was that they would help to the extent that if you put the application on paper, that they would do the
No.
paper. Oh, they
No,
won't.
they will work, you have to go and sit at the computer and they will sit behind you.
It's gonna take some time to get it all online to begin with, and there are exceptions, but if you don't put it right from the beginning, you want it online, it's not gonna happen. You
Yeah.
gotta do it right from the beginning. That's not to say we don't help, I'm not telling you that.
Yeah, it just,
It's just that it should become pro forma, that's all.
oh, yeah, and I understand the great advantages to it, but my understanding is they would,
My understanding, it's also a
To-
very
to-
difficult program to work through, so. I'm not sure, so I don't know. But anyway, that was my reasoning.
Well, as Robin has learned, a lot of people need an awful lot of help in making applications to either board. And it's-
A lot of old people don't make applications because they've done buildings. Let's get that straight first.
What's that, they
I
don't?
don't know about that.
I don't wanna go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that seems like a really uncelebratory holiday discussion.
Okay, so moving past that, we have, is there anything else to come before the meeting? Okay, we are